Welcome back to Product Talk. We're just about to begin. Hi, and welcome back to Product Talk. We're just about to begin one of our corporate meetings, but I wanted to take a moment to talk with you first because this month in September, we're introducing one of the most exciting and important products in our history. You know, I reviewed this with you briefly in a few tapes ago, but I want to talk today again about this product. It's on the cover of our September catalog. It is one of the most amazing products we have ever created or sold. Now, this comes from SHRP Image Design, and it uses the exclusive Xeneon technology. The SHRP Image is the only company able to sell this technology because we have the exclusive license. Well, Xeneon technology, that sounds good. What does it really mean? What it means is this is the first air purification unit in history since the beginning of time that has figured out a way to move air without any moving parts. In other words, no fan. Compare this to a Honeywell or any other product that moves air. They all have a fan. And what does that mean? It means energy consumption and it means noise. Our unit is totally silent and uses virtually no energy. Compare this, for example, to a Honeywell. Do you know a Honeywell uses about 500 watts of electricity? This uses only about 15 watts, like a small, tiny nightlight. That means you can run this for literally pennies a month. And unlike expensive air purification units like the Honeywell that cost literally $200 to change all the filters once a year, this unit has an easily clean filter. Well, actually, it's not a filter. And unlike expensive air filtration units like the Honeywell, this doesn't have expensive filters to replace. This has simply washable, permanent collection rods. By simply lifting this handle out, you've got these nice stainless steel rods that you can wipe off with a damp cloth or rinse them under some running water, maybe take a sponge, or even use one of these sort of magic dusters like I brought with me today. Now, this duster has two important uses with our product. First of all, you got to clean the collection rods occasionally. You can wash them off in the sink, or you can use a magic duster or a lamb's wool duster like this. I bought this for $6 at the hardware store. You can also use this duster to go inside the unit. Look at this. Because some of you have already said to me in your test units, the beta units that we sent out to the store, you got a little bit of noise from the unit. The unit doesn't make any noise. So where was that coming from? From dust that had collected inside the unit. So take your duster, go inside, give it about 3 swishes, and now that dust falls off and it's totally silent. And of course, every time you pull these rods out, it turns the unit off automatically. Let me put this back in. Now you can't put it in backwards. If you try to, it won't go. So let's pick it up, turn it around. Now it goes in. It only goes in the right way, so it's a good safety feature. And every time you pull that unit out, it automatically shuts off the unit. Now you notice the unit goes through a pulsing phase where it pushes air out for a while and then it stops. It does that to let new air come back in from the rear and collect. Then it cleans that air and pushes it out. So you constantly get this alternating cycle. It's on for a number of seconds, like 20 or 30 seconds, and then it's off for 20 or 30 seconds. And you leave this on 24 hours a day because it's totally silent. It's not using any wattage or any power, so there's no reason not to leave it on 24 hours a day. In fact, I'd claim it's the first air filtration unit ever meant to be left on all the time. And because it's totally silent, you can use it in your bedroom, any place, no matter how sensitive the sound is. It's got a couple of advantages over other units. It eliminates odors. Most units will not eliminate odors. This one will. This cleans to the smallest level of HEPA filtration. So So if you're allergic to smoke or pollens, all those things will be pulled out of the air by this unit. So it's really a fantastic product. There is nothing like it on the market, and it's exclusively available from us starting this month. It's going to be a great seller. I predict it'll be one of the best sellers, one of our top 2 or 3 items. So tell all your customers about this. Okay, a couple more things. We're going to cover a couple of other products. Yeah. Yeah, we can start with a close-up right here. Let me mention 2 more things before we end this month's talk. These are sharper image batteries. They come in our own package. They're premium alkaline batteries, and they compare very favorably with other premium alkaline batteries. We've had these tested by independent laboratories, and they are designed to perform plus or minus 5% of any premium alkaline battery on the market. So I think you'll be real pleased with the performance of these, and I think our customers will be happy getting a battery from us with our name on it. They'll ask you, well, are they good batteries? And you can say comfortably, yes, they perform within plus or minus other premium alkaline batteries. That's our design standard, and we test them with an independent laboratory. Okay, lastly, new product, the TruthQuest phone. Why is this called TruthQuest instead of TruthSeeker? Well, TruthQuest is a new circuit we put into this product so that you get the same red and green lights, and let me just show you that right now. The same red and green lights you're used to in a TruthSeeker, but built into a telephone. One thing really neat about this product is when you talk into it, you actually see the lights during your conversation. So you could listen to yourself, make a sales presentation, and you can listen to the other party on the other end of the line to see if they're under stress and perhaps if they're telling you the truth or a lie. Works into any regular phone outlet. One difference between this product and the others is the new TruthQuest circuitry has a little feature here where the red lights will blink twice. Let's do that again. The red lights will blink twice when it goes to the red zone for more than about a millisecond. And that alerts you to the fact that there might be a story going on that's not quite true when you see those red lights flash at you. So in summary, what does it mean? TruthQuest circuitry means it's the same as the TruthSeeker, but now the red lights actually flash twice when it goes into the red zone for more than a millisecond. So it gives you a stronger visual clue that you're listening to something that may not be forthright or truthful. So what we've done is we conveniently packaged our TruthSeeker. We've improved it with TruthQuest circuitry, which gives you the double flash of the red lights when it hears high stress, and we put it into a nice phone, and the phone is beautiful. Scandinavian design, very well made, really a good phone, single line phone, and it has one extra feature. There's a light at the bottom which tells you if the phone is in use. That green light comes on if the phone is in use, and it also will alert you if somebody else picks up an extension. So it lets you know whether or not somebody's eavesdropping on your conversation in the house. When you get the phone and play with it and look at the instructions, you'll see this very clearly. But it's a neat phone. It's got 2 features. Alert you if someone's eavesdropping, TruthSeeker built in, but enhanced with the new TruthQuest technology. Let me say goodbye, but let me not forget to tell you, I have never seen a product sell so well in its initial tests as our new Ionic Breeze. You've got to tell every customer about this product. It is really, really interesting. New technology, great product, already selling well, and it's going to be one of the best products in our history. Have a great time selling it, and we'll talk to you next month.
Come in. Okay, we're going to get started because I'm told we're already a little bit late, and you know that means it's going to cut into my drinking time. So we got to speed things up. So welcome to the second quarterly meeting. It's not easy to say. We're here to review our second quarter results and talk to you about a little bit of what's been going on, our plans going forward, and even some of the new faces around here, which there are quite a few. Maybe that's a good place to start, and I think we should introduce some of the new faces around here, so that since you know I'm going to make you stand up, we'll get all the nervousness out of the way. Okay. So. First, I'd like to introduce Tony Farrell, who's new Senior VP of Creative Services. Tony's recently joined us. Tony's going to be speaking to you a little bit later about what he's doing and some exciting news on our mission statement. Ralph Odom. Ralph, please stand up. He's our Vice President of Stores. I think you all saw an announcement on Ralph. Ralph came to us from the Guess Company. Let's see, who else do we have? I'm just going to ask everyone just to stand up for a second while I read through these names, and hopefully I won't. Not you. Jane Archambault. Thank you, Jane. Ali Banasar. There's some people maybe back manning the phones. Tristan Christensen. He's in Hong Kong. Daniel Dent. Hi, Dan. Jonathan Katzen, customer service. Jonathan. Joan Kwa. Thank you, Joan. Did I get that right? Mary Laneson in customer service. Hi, Mary. Many of you have already seen Elena Lubavitch at the front desk some days. Hi, Elena. Mary McGuire. Kang Nguyen in our mailroom. Kang, is he here? Okay. He's delivering your mail right now. Melanie Parker in corporate marketing. Hello, Melanie. Aaron Quillen in customer service. Sydney Eimer. Sydney is new. Wendy Tony in customer service. Nikki Wright in customer service. Laszlo Hegedus. How'd I do? Save the tough ones for last. Alan Ito is not here, but Alan is rejoining us. And he saw the light. He left us. He came back. Smart man. Darren Ross in merchandising assistant. Darren, welcome. And last but not least, Linda Chaplin, who's going to be working in my office as my assistant. So may there be many, many more quarterly meetings to all of you. I'd like to talk a little bit about the second quarter, and reminds me of our theme last year for the store managers meeting, and that theme was "We Deliver." And when I look back at the results of the second quarter, for the first time, I can say that this group as a team finally delivered, and we achieved our earnings plan for the first time in a while, and I think that's a great outcome and a great result of this team, and I think you all deserve a round of applause. There were a lot of highlights in that. We had in the stores a 7.1% comp store increase, which was the largest quarterly increase that we've had in about 12 quarters in a row. That's pretty darn impressive. That's great to see. We had in the catalog area, in the home division, we had a 60% increase in the quarter. In the Sharper Image catalog, we had a 22% increase in sales in the quarter. In the internet, our shining light, we've had over 200% increase. So a lot of really great success stories. Our total sales for the quarter as a company grew by 14%. And that is just fabulous, that we met our earnings target and we grew the top line all at the same time. So that's quite encouraging. And that's obviously a trend we want to keep going. Looking ahead, and one of the things that we think has helped get us to that success of the last quarter is that we have been really executing moving the merchandise assortment to include a lot more proprietary products. And Richard's going to talk to you more about that in a second, but that has been just fabulous for us, taking our business from 8% last year to roughly around 20% of our sales are in proprietary products. Why is that a good thing? It makes our store offer something that no other store can have. These are things that are designed by us, manufactured by us, and only sold by us. And that makes customers recognize that we're the destination, we're the only place that they can shop to get those things. So it differentiates us, it gives us margin and profit opportunities, and it's really been reshaping the way we do business and making us more successful than we've ever been. We've had the largest jump in year-to-year margin, I think, in our company's history. And that is a very good sign to see our profit margins jump. So that's very positive omen for the future. We have coming in this fall season a new store design, and Ralph's going to tell you more about that, but it's going to revolutionize the way we look, hopefully. It'll be a huge success, and it'll be a next step forward for us as a company. So that's exciting news for the months ahead. Tony's going to talk to you a little bit more about our mission statement and define for you a little bit closely who we are and what we're about. And I think Davi is going to talk to you a little bit about some of the successes we've had in our advertising campaigns over the last quarter, which obviously had an impact on this successful sales achievement. So I think we got a lot to talk to you about today. A lot of it's good news, and I think a lot of the forward-looking information you're going to get is going to be equally as exciting. So with that, the most exciting part, let me introduce our chairman and founder, Richard.
Thank you. I just want to take a second to share my excitement. I have really no important message, but I do have some important enthusiasm because we are introducing in our September mailing, which goes out in a few days, a product that I think is one of the most important products we've ever sold in our history. And so I just wanted to sort of tell you about it because I'm just so excited about it. Before I do that, though, let me give you two small things that are not so important but will help the bottom line. These batteries, which say Sharper Image batteries, are $250,000 batteries. Why? Because by beginning to introduce our own branded product in the regular batteries, the AA and AAA, and a few other sizes, we will save about $200,000 or $300,000 a year in costs that we're now paying to sell other people's brands. We've had these tested by independent laboratories, and they're designed to perform plus or minus 5% of other premium alkaline batteries, like Maxell or Eveready. So we feel we can offer our customers a battery that's very similar to other batteries on the market, except we'll finally get some decent costs on the product, and they'll carry our brand name home instead of carrying somebody else's brand name. And quite frankly, a lot of the batteries we use in our stores are used to demonstrate our own products anyway. So if we're going to just put batteries in and then throw them away in a few weeks, we may as well throw away our own name as somebody else's name, right? Here's a product that's a lot of fun. This is not the one I'm so excited about, but it's going to be a nice solid product for us. This is a really nicely designed sort of Danish modern look telephone. Very well made, nice quality phone, great sound quality, but now it has the TrueSeeker technology built into the phone. So you can listen to yourself or your child telling you they're really at the mall and they'll be home by 10 o'clock. You can listen to them tell you that fib, and if the lights go over into the red, you might wonder if they're really at the mall. It has a new feature, and this is why we call this Truth Quest. The new products are called Truth Quest now instead of TrueSeeker, because Truth Quest technology is designed so that when it goes into the red for more than a millisecond, at the far end of the red, it gives you a double flash of red so that it gets your attention. You don't have to watch it quite so closely. You'll just see the double flash of red out of the corner of your eye. So now when that, I won't give you any more examples of how to use it. You'll figure it out. This is perhaps the most important product I think we've ever introduced. This product sells for $200. It is an air filter. It works like a lot of other air filters. It cleans the air. It cleans the air as well as, for example, a $400 Honeywell HEPA filtration unit. But how is it different? Well, the most important difference is there's not a single moving part in this product. You know, in the history of air filters, no one has ever been able to move air without a fan. There have been other air cleaning products. They've often been called ionizers. They use static electricity or static precipitation to pull particles out of the air. But that doesn't move any air. That just cleans the air. So how do you get the air to where it can be cleaned? Well, you put a fan behind it, and that's what everybody does. And if they don't want to use ionic precipitation, if they don't want to use that static electric charge, they can use filters like paper filters. That's what Honeywell does, or charcoal filters. The only trouble with that is you got to change the filters. You got to buy new filters. To change the filters on a $400 Honeywell unit costs you almost $200 every year. Well, so what happened was about 3 years ago, Chuck Taylor, who heads our SHRP Image Design Group, was contacted, or he contacted an inventor who had a patent on a process called xenon technology. Xenon technology was a new invention. It moves air with no moving parts. It's a miracle. The air actually goes through this unit. It is propelled through the room 3 times every hour. It'll clean all the air in an average-sized room, and it'll do it with the same wattage as a nightlight, about 15 watts. What does a Honeywell use? About 500 to 600 watts. Not to pick on Honeywell, but pick any air filter. Anything with a fan is like running a 400 to 600 watt light bulb. This is like running a 15 watt light bulb. So it's designed to stay on 24 hours a day. And because there are no moving parts, you get one benefit that never existed before in history. It is totally dead silent. There is not a single peep coming out of this machine. Now you can put it right next to you while you're sleeping and have total silence. You can clean allergens, smog, smoke, pollen, whatever it is you want to clean, you can clean it, and you can do it in total silence. And it has one other benefit that no other air filter has. Because of the process it uses to scrub the air, it also eliminates odors. That's just the way it works. It neutralizes odors. So if you've got cooking odors, bathroom odors, paint fumes, you name it, it will take those odors out. So now you've got a product that costs no more. In fact, it sometimes costs less than a lot of air filters on the market, has no sound, which no competitive unit has, eliminates odors, and has zero cost of replacing filters, and will operate for pennies a month. It's a fantastic product, and only one company in the entire world has this product, and that's us. Why do we have it? Because we exclusively licensed the patent, and because one individual spent about 2 years of his life trying to get this darn thing to work. It was a long, long, arduous journey. We are introducing it this month, September 5th, and so I'm going to ask our engineer, who works so diligently in this project, to stand up, and that is SF Lau. If you would stand up, please. Thank you. This product is probably going to be one of the top 1, 2, or 3 profit-producing items in our company. It is something we could be so proud of. And if you just wonder mechanically how it works, I'll show you real quick. You pull this little rod out here, take these stainless steel collector rods, wipe them off. You can do it very easily with a duster like this, or you could put it in your sink and just use a sponge, whichever you prefer. They only go in the unit one way. If any of you are involved with the stores and you get any complaints that the unit is not totally silent, you tell them take the same cleaning wand, stick it inside the unit, and knock any dust or pollen off that's been collecting. Because if you let that dust collect forever, eventually you'll get a slight noise because the unit needs to be cleaned. So that's a replacement for $200 worth of filters once a year. The unit is totally permanent. There are no filters. There is only this unit to take apart and clean approximately every 2 weeks. It will only go in the right way. It will not go in the wrong way. And it shuts the unit off when you pull this out. What a beautiful product. I mean, this is just an incredible breakthrough in technology and for us in sales and profits. So I'm really pleased this is on the cover of the catalog. It's mailing in about 7 days, and we should see some really enthusiastic sales from that. So that's my report. I'm really pleased this month.
Yeah. I'm Tony Farrell. I'm very glad to be here. When we were doing the new store design, I was asked to take a look at a sign that was being posted behind the cash wrap, and it was going to be our mission statement, and there was like a draft that had been written by I'm not sure who. And I was asked to take a look at it. I don't think it would have been first on my agenda of things to do, that is look at the mission statement of a company I just joined. But I did. And we ended up with the new mission statement. This is the old mission statement that's up there right now. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit and about how we evolved to the new mission statement. And then I want to talk a little bit about how I think about what I'm doing from a creative point of view in terms of marketing the company. This statement, if you can read it, just says the sharper image. It's the older mission statement. The sharper image will be the leader in introducing products that provide quality, innovation, and entertainment. Now, I think that statement maybe is as good as far as it goes, but I think it's missing a little something. It's missing, I think, any kind of active verb. It's missing some level of enthusiasm, and I think it really fails to capture what I perceive to be the essence of what the sharper image is all about. So if you can go to the second overhead there. By coincidence, just yesterday, I came across the November 1996 catalog, the big brand new catalog that Goodby Berlin had created for us. And there was an introduction there written by Richard that surprised me because of what it said. First said, my passion for discovering great products hasn't changed one bit. And then also, most importantly, the sharper image should be fun. That's why I started this business in the first place. Well, that made me very pleased because the fact is the new mission statement, which is on the third slide here, actually uses the same language. And I think it uses that language because it is really the essence of the truth. You know, the mission should be the tightest distillation, a statement that describes what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. So this statement says, our mission is to share the fun of discovering innovative products that make life easier and more enjoyable. And I think every word is important. One is sharing. I mean, it starts with Richard. It's his enthusiasm. I mean, we're all here because of him. He's the visionary, but it isn't for its own private sake. There's an element of sharing that is, in fact, what we are. We're 85 stores. We're a big catalog we mail millions of. Fun. Fun is absolutely the key word. You know, it's been called, we've been called maybe boyish or childish, or I prefer to think of it as more of like, you know, youthful exuberance. I mean, I think there's a quality to how we feel about products that is really basically captured in the word fun. Discovering means that basically you're seeing this product, the customer is seeing the product for the first time. That's the essence of discovery. It's something new. It's not seen elsewhere. It hasn't been seen elsewhere. The fun is in seeing something that's brand new. That's something that starts with, I have a little 2-year-old, and it starts earlier than that, and hopefully it never ends. Innovative. We actually like technology. We like things. We love stuff. I mean, I did a little bit of work for Pete's Coffee, and after a day I was like really dying because that was it. I had beans to talk about, nothing else, you know. But we love innovative products. One phrase we used to describe this was that we were a celebration of human ingenuity. just the sheer effort to achieve something often results in something that's quite exciting to see. And then making life easier and more enjoyable. These products have to do something, and I'll get to that on the next slide, but basically the products either make life easier, like a fog-free mirror, or more enjoyable, something that just is pure fun, a toy or collectible, or just something that's fun to give as a gift. So that really is, I believe, the Sharper Image mission in a nutshell. It rolled off everybody's tongue very fastly. It rolled into the press release that we just did very easily. I think these are words that ring pretty true to what we're doing. So on the last slide, it's a summary of sort of the way I like to think about things when I think of marketing and merchandising and creative. And we are a merchandising company, and the way I think of that is that we're a great specialty store, and every great specialty store, it has a great merchant visionary behind it. Our merchant visionary is Richard. I mean, we're lucky in the sense that he's still here and thinking about the business every day. Some companies don't have an individual. It's the merchandising becomes the vision. But basically, Richard is the merchant visionary. And the role of the merchant, you can think of it, it's sort of like being the movie's director or the chef owner of a restaurant or editor of a magazine or a novel's author. It's the person who guides the entire enterprise so that it begins to make sense. And the key thing is that a vision is a product of imagination. It was created. It did not exist before. It's something new in the world. And a merchant takes what would otherwise be just a collection of stuff, collection of items, and this vision creates a place where the customer actually wants to be. And in that place, the customer actually wants to own all this merchandise. So it's, in fact, creating this vision, it's a blend of art and science, business science, but it's almost all art. There's some sort of black art to creating a coherent merchandise statement that, and we have it here at the Sharper Image. It's passionate. It's personally passionate. A merchant is maybe passionate for something, or it could be passionate against something. I worked for Don Fisher, who founded The Gap. He was, I think, more passionate against disorderly stores than he was passionate for an orderly store, but essentially he was driven. I think Chuck Williams, who created the catalog for cooks, he was probably as passionate against lousy frying pans that handles were loose all the time as he was for a great French omelet pan. But I think we're mostly a passion for. We have a very positive and enthusiastic orientation for things. And great merchandising has the power of emotion, and customers can be made passionate too. The assortment and what we sell is it is eclectic, it's dynamic, but it's coherent as well. And what makes it coherent is sort of a consistent taste level and attitude and emotion, product quality, the value, the fashion, the positioning against competition, and certainly all the creative elements that come into play. And it's photography and art direction and copy and signage and visual display. That all provides a glue that creates a world that people want to actually walk into and be a part of. If all the creative elements are coherent, that is internally consistent with the merchant's vision, the customer will act as though it's real. Best example of that was like Banana Republic, where I worked for in the '82. The vision should be meaningful and real. Meaningful to the customer in the sense that it triggers emotion, and then action, and ultimately loyalty. And it should be meaningful by adding pleasure, or removing pain, or solving problems. I don't know how else to get anything sold. And it should be meaningful against alternatives in the marketplace, clearly distinct from competitors in some meaningful way, of which really Sharper Image Design is really the purest statement. And finally, I'm often asked, like, who is the customer, this customer that wants to go into this place? Well, to be honest, I think it's anyone who could be made to share this enthusiasm. I mean, mostly it's an adult, a grown-up. I mean, it could be a kid. My nephews, who are 12, are more excited about me being here than anybody else I've run across, and that's just great. I don't think that's quote-unquote off-target. But yeah, mostly it's sort of reasonably affluent people, not too young and not too old, but it's absolutely equally men and women, and who have this, I would say, pure, unabashed, genuine enthusiasm for the innovative products that we sell. So that's hopefully what I'm able to achieve as we address all the elements that market our merchandise, and certainly glad to be here and proud to be here. Thanks.
Good afternoon. As most of you know, I'm Ralph Odom. I came to the SHRP Image, as Barry pointed out, from Guess Incorporated, which is a company based in Los Angeles and New York. I was the director of stores there. While I was there, I was contacted by the SHRP Image about the store's position here. It was very exciting to me to think about the opportunity of coming to such a highly recognized company with such a strong brand. Once I arrived, Barry absolutely wasted no time giving me a list of priorities. And it was a long list. Two of my main areas of emphasis are stores and real estate. It's pretty thrilling to realize one of your areas of responsibility will be to grow what is already a strong organization into both a larger and stronger organization. Already this year, we plan to open 6 new stores, renovate 4 stores, relocate 1 store, and open 4 holiday stores. And we're going to do all this before Christmas, which is pretty big. This leads me to our new store design. I'm very proud of the new store design and find it particularly exciting that we are going to renovate 4 stores to the new design this year. Renovating these stores is so important, as this will give us a solid and real barometer to measure the effectiveness of the design. Now, what I'm showing you today are architect renderings. There are transparencies of those, so there's some shadows that aren't so great. But this will give you a little preview. This is the new storefront. It's quite a change, but we feel that it's a fresh look for our company. If you go to the next slide. You'll notice the banners behind me, and these are some other pieces of art. These banners really represent the core of our new merchandising philosophy. Our stores, as we speak, are being merchandised into zones, and these zones represent lifestyle. We basically have 5 zones. We have Feel Good, which is to my left. We have Getaway, which is directly behind me. We have Home, which is to my right. And then we have Work and Play, which we don't have for you, unfortunately, today. But these banners will have metal letters similar to those right there on a rod that spell the lifestyle. And I think all of those, Feel Good, Home, Play, Getaway, tie right into the mission statement that Tony just presented to you. The lifestyle banners will be merchandised right there on the wall, and around it, right here, will be the product that it relates to. This is our work banner that I have the laser on, and this is all the work product. Over here is the palm trees, which is the Getaway, and around it is all the Getaway product. So it really ties the product to the lifestyle, makes it clear what we're trying to do. Now, our feelings here are that this approach in merchandising will make our stores easier to shop, produce upsells, and increase multiple selling. Last, I'll show you an overview of the design. Okay. There are 3 points I'd just like to point out to you without going into a lot of detail. This right here, this feature presentation column, is very important to this store design and to the future of our company. This is where our TSI design merchandise will be presented, towards the front of the store, and it will be the highest fixture in the store, and it will have the logo all the way around it here. I think it's important that it's forward, because TSI design is our future. Back here is the cash wrap, and you can see these round discs. This right now is being called the 20 Years of Discovery Wall. And what we'll do is we will have product showing on this back wall that was discovered at the Sharper Image. So we're going to celebrate our history in our new store design as well. Then, from a store's point of view, all the fixtures on this floor are completely modular, and they're all compatible. That will make it much easier to re-merchandise our stores, and it will make it faster, which will put us in a situation that our people will have more time to sell. This is only a glimpse. Believe me, there's a lot more to it. Our first new store opens October 1st in Orlando, Florida. I think this is going to be a huge success, and I think it's really going to keep us focused on our mission, and certainly, as I pointed out, focused on TSI design. So I think we can all make it a success together. Thanks.
Rock around the clock? Okay. Well, I always enjoy this opportunity of sharing a few minutes with this group in reviewing our financial results. I think Barry gave you some of the highlights when he started the meeting in congratulating the team in meeting the bottom line goal as well as the improvement in our margin. So I wanted to just show you some of the specifics. I won't take too much time because the highlights was already covered. But one of the greatest achievement that we had in the second quarter was when we were looking at the comparable store sales. At $32 million, that was a 7% increase, and that was right along with our plan. So we hit the target this second quarter. And when you look at the Sharper Image catalog sales, that was the 22% that Barry mentioned, and the home collection catalog sales was a 61% increase. Included in the Sharper Image catalog sales is our internet sales, which has been the fastest growing area of our sales segment within the Sharper Image. That's caught the attention of a lot of the financial type managers, that we are able to increase our internet sales as fast as we have over the last really 18 months, year over year. You can see we did $700,000 compared to the prior years of just little over $200,000. And in the rounding, it looks like it should be $500,000 more, but the fact of the matter is it was close to a 200% increase, or otherwise threefold of what it was last year's second quarter. Going back up to the stores actually, the total chain had actually increased by 10%. That's a very nice increase, to give us a total increase for the company of 14%. Now, we were very aggressive with our plan during the second quarter of the year. We were planning $52.5 million of sales, but we brought in $49.2 million. But what's interesting, though, as I share the next slide with you, is that I think for those of you who share this forum with me, I've always gotten very excited about the gross margin rate. And to show you the power of gross margin is that even though we were short $3.5 million on the sales side, our margin was actually, when you look at this, 2.2% over prior year. And on $49 million of sales, 2.2% gave us $1.1 million more profits. And that's without any related processing costs. That's pure profit that helps the bottom line. So while it would be the perfect world to achieve the sales plan as well as the margin plan, but I want to encourage us to look at the positive impact that we've had over last year. Just 12 months ago, we've increased this by 2.2%. And that was largely attributable to the increase in the Sharper Image Design proprietary products, which affords us over 60% in gross margin. as compared to the balance of the product mix that's in the high 40% range. So it is just phenomenal of an achievement, and I do not want to let that get away without explaining what's influencing that. And going into the second half of this year, I have every reason to believe we can achieve the same type of margin improvement year over year. And when you see that if you get a 2% improvement on 49 million, you get 1 million more, well, the second half of the year is $100 million just in the fourth quarter. So if that gave you 2%, that's $2 million, or roughly 15 or 16 cents a share. That's very, very powerful. So with the combination of the sales achievement and the gross margin improvement, second quarter results as we saw it, this is where Tracy begs for the pennies. We did it. We had a 4-penny improvement over last year, 4 cents. So that was our net loss was reduced to 14 cents per share from last year's 18 cents per share. And our plan was actually to hit 14 cents, and that's exactly what we did in the second quarter of the year. You know, Barry teased me about this laser pointer. He said he knows a place where I could find one that works. And my response always is that it's operator error rather than the product. So I think we should feel really good about staying on plan. I think Barry has a very good slogan when he started is plan your work and then work your plan. And when you can achieve plan, by the end of the year, as you can see, during the first and second quarter, we were right on target with our plan on the net bottom line. So going into third and fourth quarter, we're not even looking for a big improvement over last year, just because really third quarter is a time period when we get geared up for fourth quarter business. There's not a lot of events to drive additional business. But I'll tell you, with the introduction of this Ionic Breeze in September, we could have some real good upside opportunity on the sales line as well as margin. So we've got some upside opportunity in the 19 cents for the third quarter. And when we get into the fourth quarter, this is big, guys. We're looking for 20 cents more. So 20 of you are going to have to dish out a penny for me each for this quarter. If, and we will, achieve this result, we will turn in a 30-cent year compared to last year's 7 cents, or 2.6 million on the bottom line. And that would be viewed very, very favorably by the outside world as well as internally. We should feel real good about that ourselves. Just a couple of highlighted items that I want to share with you. It shows how much this group can do when we put our minds to it. I think last year when I talked with you, we talked about one of the areas of the company that's become a real challenge is the net delivery expense for our mail order segment. That is a big part of our business, is anywhere between 25 to 30% of our total business. And the trend has been in the past 3 years now that we have experienced a negative spread on the delivery income and expense, meaning that we're paying more out in delivery expense than what we're taking in. But I wanted to share this with you so badly because it just shows the power of our attention to detail, of administering our policies and procedures. The TSI catalog sales of $20 million, this is the full 6 months now for the current year that we're in. $20 million of sales. The net delivery expense, look at this. It says 0%. 0% is good. That's not bad. Compared to last year's minus 2.3%. When you apply this 2.3% differential on $20 million of sales, that savings amounted to $462,000. That's 3 cents per share. It's outstanding. Thank you for all of you that has involvement in that process, because it can't be done by any one person. It's a team effort. It's making sure that we assess the right charge. When we set up the item master, look at what vehicle we should use. All of those details adds up to this type of impact. And in the home catalog, we've also done some very different things, starting with the May catalog in home. We do not offer the free freight, even regardless of the order size. And you know what the neat thing is? From what the marketing folks have demonstrated is that the sales demand has gone up with no free freight. So all of our worst fears went away, and we actually started to see some improvement in the net delivery expense. You might say, oh, Tracy, it's less than 1% improvement. Hey, I'll take $56,000 any day. And that's only reflective of a small portion of the impact of the May catalog because, you know, through the June 31 timeframe, the May orders were just beginning to ship. So this reflects all the shipments. Another area is of the transportation cost is our freight out to the stores. If you take a look at this too, during the first 6 months of the year, even though our sales has increased from prior year in the stores, our delivery expense going out to the store and store to store really has not increased. In fact, it's decreased. So when you look at the rate improvement of 1.1% versus last year's 1.4%, that's a 21% improvement. And really, you know, I like to thank the merchandising distribution team in paying attention to the details of which items to air freight. Because again, this is the kind of impact that it can have on us. This 133,000 is somewhat understating what the true savings are because as we do more business, that number should have increased. The savings actually worked out to be more like 250,000 if you were on the same volume with last year. So again, almost 2 cents a share. And I did not want to go without mentioning some of the other big initiatives that goes on in the other areas of the company. Catalog cost. How many of you noticed that the catalog was different size in July? Hey, it worked. And that was a $350,000 annualized savings. Nobody even noticed. But Woody, overnight, trimmed 1/8 of an inch off of that catalog. And I could not believe how much paper is saved. I said, that can't be right. They said, it's right. So that initiative should not go unnoticed. And last but not least, this is, you know, another one of the items that are significant is that our AT&T contract was negotiated earlier than the original expiration date to take advantage of the current market rate of the telecommunication cost, which a lot of you might have known, you know, it's become very competitive, and you get those dinner calls every night at 7:30 to switch you from Sprint to MCI. Well, AT&T wants our business, and Greg Alexander did a great job in working alongside with Deb Lowry, and this is going to equate to almost another $325,000 of annualized savings going forward. Thank you. Thanks.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I have a lot of paraphernalia here, so I hope I don't drop it all at once. And I have switchers and all kinds of things. I thought I'd start by asking an easy question. If anyone wants to tell me what the best-selling product all summer has been. Please, I need to know. My coolers? Okay, can anybody venture a guess how many we've sold? Aside from the actual planners who know. Someone else. Chuck, do you know? Well, why don't you guess? I think we've sold about 49,000 now. Can anybody guess what that rolls up to in terms of sales? It's just going to make you more and more excited, huh? It does. 2.3 million in a single product. So what I'm going to talk about for a few minutes today, and I have a few things to show you, is how we took what was certainly a great product and as a company made it a better product through a variety of different things. First of all, we launched this product with an infomercial, which I have here. And I have to do all this myself, so what? Okay, so you can hear me better? Okay.
When you can't escape the scorching heat and the forecast says there's no relief in sight, here's the solution that'll keep you cool and comfortable wherever you are. An exclusive patented design from the SHRP image, the personal cooling system. It keeps your body feeling so nice and cool you might think you're wearing a miniature air conditioner. But here's how it works. Simply add a few ounces of water, switch on the whisper quiet fan, and the accelerated evaporative cooling process creates a cool zone that's up to 20 degrees cooler than the hot, dry air around you.
It's very hot out here today, and it doesn't, right now I feel really cool and relieved.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that makes me feel nice and cool. Yeah.
The coated high-tech cooling plates are cold to the touch and conduct heat away from the body while adjusting to fit your neck comfortably.
Yeah, it's really light and comfortable. I barely noticed it at all.
It's really cool, like right around my shoulders it's starting and right in your back area.
Immediately when I put it on, I could feel my body cool down.
This is great. It keeps me cool while I'm fishing all day long.
If you love the outdoors but can't stand the heat, whether you're a player or a fan, the personal cooling system is designed to cool your body for hours without getting you wet.
As soon as I put it on, I felt cooled off right away.
I've been jogging probably for about an hour and a half now, and I just put this on, and this makes a world of difference. I think I can jog for another hour with this.
This thing's fantastic.
Well, really, anytime I'm outside, camping or hiking.
Make me feel really good.
Now you can beat the heat no matter where you are. Golfing, fishing, gardening, or even mowing the lawn.
From the SHRP image, of course.
So we've already...
When you can't escape the scorching heat at...
You're all wondering what I'm doing with this remote here. Well, we've convinced at least 49,000 people that this is a great product. This began as part of a 30-minute infomercial, and because it did so well in its little 3-minute tag at the end, we extracted it and have been running it all summer as this 2-minute spot. In the actual infomercial, of course, there's the order numbers at the end of this. We took the same video and we put it in the stores, and in conjunction with a beautiful POP, which most of you have probably seen, we've created a real point of destination in the stores. And since these play all day long, customers can come into the stores and get the same experience that they can get on TV. And it's part of this great invented here concept that Woody and David principally have been driving, which identifies all of our own products and makes them a lot more visible for customers and points out to them that you can only get them here at SHRP Image. Then, I know this is all going to crash to the floor. Then in June, remember it was the cover of our catalog, beautiful invented here artwork cover. And the following month, it was the opening spread. Shows how we were telling customers all through this time how much these products meant to us, so that they were always understanding what the focus of the company was. And then on the internet, in June, July, and August, it was always a feature on the opening screen. And then we added one more element to our internet strategy just recently, which we're calling targeted outbound emailing. For those customers who've bought from us before, we've identified a direct marketing strategy to go back to them and offer them interesting new things. So in the months of July and August, we gave them outbound offers. In July, let me just read that too, because we got some good copy here. In July, we said, we called it New and Cool, and said, can't live without air conditioning when the streets feel like an oven or your yard like a furnace. Don't you dread leaving the cool air-conditioned comfort of your home. SHRP Image Design's portable, wearable new invention lets you stay active or inactive in the heat and feel a whole lot cooler than anyone else around you. And then we came back with the next one and offered us an outstanding value about 4 weeks later. And Tony took care of this, and what he did was use editorial mention that we got in Time magazine by a writer named Michael Krantz. And he repeated that Michael said, fans and air conditioning work just fine on those sweltering weekend days when you can hibernate indoors. But eventually you need to venture outside. The personal cooling system may look like a whiplash collar, but it works. Just wrap it around your neck and let its aluminum plates cooled by water and the fan refresh you. And in this case, online shoppers got a special deal. They got 2 for $75. So even on the internet. Then we did something that we don't do every day. We reached out, or they reached out to us, some national publications where Sandy was able to help us get great rates. And we were in Newsweek magazine, someplace we very seldom find ourselves, with its 3 million circulation with an ad. Also in Discover magazine, very well targeted to our customers. We have a regular schedule of newspapers that you all know. So in this period of time, we were running in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and USA Today regularly with these ads. The personal cooling system was the most productive ad we were running through this whole season, not unexpectedly. And then we also added to this schedule local newspapers in all of our markets. So the stores could really see the impact of this on a regional basis. That added 21 million impressions to customers just in July alone. So our reach was so dramatically enhanced here beyond what we do in our regular catalog reach. We also did press releases, and they happen to be picked up all over the place. One example, when we send out press releases with photos, we also send out faxes just as things were really heating up. It was about the dog days of the summer, if any day was. Sandy arranged to have us fax to many of these markets. Again, another release on this, and the following day we got dozens of phone calls from many of the media market publications, among them LA Times, which did a great feature story on us. The great thing about this is that obviously we didn't pay for this advertising. We paid a relatively small amount of money just to provide the publicity for it. But the writers thought this was a great innovative item, and they picked up on it, and we got carried every place. We also sent Lou Susi, who is here today, out on the road. And I'm going to show you a minute of Lou on the road. I didn't clear this with Lou, so I don't know. He might be asking me for royalties at the end of this. Let me just, I just need to eject this. Yeah, right. I hope this isn't the video I was watching last night, you know, at home. A little worried about me now. All right, this should be Lou, not me.
Kicker though, this is the number one. Put it in your hand if you will, please. Right. About a half hour ago, I loaded these wings with water. There's a little fan driven by a AA battery in here. It doesn't gush you with air, but it does take evaporative cooling and bring the inside aluminum wings 20 degrees lower than the outside air. Now slip that, if you will, sir, around your neck. Around your neck. You're out in the garden. Ooh. You're out bicycling. Oh, wow. You're at a sporting event, an outdoor
That's better than an ice pack.
Oh, isn't that nice, though?
Oh, it's very cooling. Yeah.
And it doesn't weigh very much, and it's resting in a place that'll absorb that weight.
And relaxing.
Called the personal cooling system.
Ah.
And of course down
you can
here,
use this for when things get hot in the newsroom.
You know, it's true though. Anywhere that it's warm. I like the price of the fuel. Load it up with water again. The AA battery will last a long time.
We've only got 30 seconds, so I do want to talk about.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Yay, Lou! Thanks, Lou. But largely because of the nature of this product, we got some unlikely requests for personal cooling systems. One case, Lily Mitsui, who's out in the field in corporate marketing, noticed that umpires at the Mariners game were wearing these, or at least one umpire, and some of the commentators talked about it a little bit. So we put Lou on the job here too, and he contacted the Umpires Association and got permission for these umpires to wear them while games are being telecast. And so we're sending them personal cooling systems too. So hopefully we'll see more of them on TV. Just because the product's so novel, this kind of thing comes to our attention. But I think that that sort of caps it off, the idea that you can get significant television coverage, which is something that our advertising dollars can't buy, through this combination of great product and all of these things that we've built around them. I have one last video for you, which I think is just great. And you will too, perhaps someday. Okay. Something to be said for following this whole procedure myself, but You have to watch all of what goes behind the curtain. This one's a little longer, so I'll take a seat.
From KYW3, Philadelphia's first TV station, live from Independence Mall, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And can you believe it? A portable air conditioner you wear around your neck. Paul Moriarty and pal go power walking to test the Sharper Image personal cooling system. So once again, we ask the question, can you believe it? There is a new product that you simply wear around your neck, and it keeps you cool and comfortable even in the hottest of weather. But does it work?
That is always the question. Our own Paul Moriarty takes the hike to test out the personal cooling system.
Oh, boy, isn't it hot. When it's really hot outside, it's time to head for the pool or stay close to the air conditioner. But how do you stay cool when you're outside walking and sweating in hot, sticky weather? Well, why not try the Sharper Image personal cooling system? The ad says it's a wearable air conditioner that lets you stay comfortable when walking, mowing, gardening. Wow, sounds amazing. Now, the personal cooling system is worn around your neck. It's kind of like the high-tech version of the old ice-soaked towel. And if it works, its $50 price tag just might be a bargain. Of course, the big question is,
Can you believe it?
here goes. Well, to find out, I met up with Bob Rochester, who is standing by to put the personal cooling system to the test. So, Bob, you do a lot of walking?
Yes, indeed, I do.
And I guess it's no fun when it's hot out like this.
No, no fun at all.
Okay, well, if the personal cooling system works as advertised, you should be able to walk outside in the hot weather and still feel cool as a cucumber. So you want to give it a try?
Absolutely, let's do it.
So we opened the box and read the directions. And all we have to do is place one AA battery right here like this, fill these 2 chambers with water, and voila! We're ready for action.
Here goes.
So Bob and I placed the personal cooling systems around our necks, then turned them on. Hey, I can hear a little fan inside this thing. How about you, Bob?
Yes, I can hear that, and my neck feels cooler, too.
Yeah, me too. But I'll tell you what, I thought we'd walk a good couple of miles and see if we're still cool by the end of the walk.
Sure, let's go.
And off we went, in 90-degree temperature, no less. How you doing so far?
Just fine right now.
2 blocks into our test, things were looking good, except we were a little hungry. Thanks a lot. So we grabbed a quick pretzel without even breaking stride. And on we went for a few more blocks, our personal cooling systems still keeping us comfortable. And then, lunchtime, a couple of cheesesteaks, a perfect entree if you're eating on the run. But let's get back to our test. After about 1.5 miles of walking in the noonday sun, how were our personal cooling systems working?
I feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's strange because I am sweating a little bit, but my neck feels so cool that I'm comfortable.
Well, then let's just keep going.
Okay. So we walked and walked and walked some more. And finally, dessert, a nice cool water ice. So, Bob, after all this walking on this really hot day, what do you think of the personal cooler system?
It works for me. I feel cool and comfortable.
Yeah, me too. So the personal air cooler was a big success, keeping us comfortable outdoors, even in the hottest weather. Of course, nothing actually beats the real thing.
For more information on the Sharper Image personal cooling system, here's the number to call. 1-800-344-4444. That's 1-800-344-4444. We should get Dave Franco one of those. He's a little hot under the collar sometimes.
Davia, thank you. I think that's a great example. I wish we could have had them make our infomercial. You couldn't ask for better than that. What a great endorsement. I think that shows what happens when the entire company, the entire team gets behind a product and executes really well. And it was a lot of effort on a lot of people's part, the stores, the advertising group, our designers who came up with a great product, and we as a company who've sold almost 50,000 units, I think have shown that when we get a great product, we can really make the numbers happen, and I think you're going to see more of those type of home runs in the future. And that's going to come from a well-oiled machine. So thanks to everybody on that. Okay, Richard will address some questions. This is our time to address some of the questions that people send to us in the What's on Your Mind suggestion box or question box. By the way, I want to remind everyone, after looking at all that heat, that we are going to have refreshments after this event, and I'm buying drinks for everybody, on me. So, first question.
Are we going to have a company-wide holiday party this year? You know, we used to have some really nice holiday parties, and perhaps we will again. There's two reasons why we have not. One is that we feel like we ought to earn a lot of money, and in spite of all the great news that Tracy just gave us, we have yet to have a really good year. And we haven't had one the last 2 years, and this year's not over yet, so we have not at the moment planned the party. It's not that we don't expect to have a good year, but perhaps it's because of the second factor. And that is that it has been brought to my attention in past years that people that work in the retail stores are really asked to work extremely long hours. And they work, as you know, till like 8 and 9 o'clock at night in the stores, and they work on Christmas Eve. And we got some bad vibes back, saying, why are you guys out partying and we're working until 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve? It doesn't seem fair. So I think what we've decided to do in both cases is just wait till after Christmas, see how the year turns out. If it's a good enough year that we feel we should celebrate, we'll have some kind of event, and then we'll have something that the stores could also plan because their Christmas season is over. And quite frankly, from my own personal experience, I think we'd enjoy it. We'd get better accommodations, better service, and have more time to enjoy it if you weren't trying to fit it in that period between December 15th and December 25th. It's really a busy period for all of us. So hang in there. Let's wait and see what happens. And if we want to plan something, let's do it in January when we get the time to enjoy it and we can get the best rates on party space.
By the way, for those of you that are new and you see that our company runs a loss, and as Tracy showed you our figures that we ran a smaller loss in this last quarter than the year prior, that's very normal for a company of our ilk to run a loss and then make up more than that in the all-important fourth quarter. So traditionally, gift-oriented companies have great fourth quarters where they make all their profit during the year, and so losses will be incurred in the first, second, and third quarters. So that's very normal. The next question I have is, are corporate associates in all departments going to be asked to help out answering the customer service calls at the holiday again this year?
Not after the way you handled it last year.
Yeah. I thought this was particularly directed towards me, since I still have the company record for being online with a customer. No, we're not going to be asking the corporate volunteers to come and answer the phones. Last year, or at least that's not the plan. Last year we were inundated beyond our expectations, of which was good, that we had so many calls. We had such a strong response to our catalog, and it was great that everyone could pitch in. We couldn't have planned that it would be so overwhelming, but this year we're looking at our numbers twice and 3 times, and hopefully we will have the adequate amount of staff. But Tracy, if you need me, I'm available.
Yeah, well, it's true. We were really swamped last year with calls as part of the reason, wasn't it? Sure. And it was. I mean, I took calls last year for the first time in quite a while, and I really learned a lot. I was really surprised. Here's a good one. We don't see Richard anymore. Is he okay? No. No. seriously, I really am happy with the way things are being managed right now. It's sort of a strategy for change, which started about a year and a half ago when Barry Gilbert joined us. And the strategy is to let Barry exercise a better running of the company and let me spend most of my time on product development. And we have a SHRP image design office in Novato. And so I work up there 2 days a week, and then I putter around my home office and go through mail and talk to inventors on the phone. And the result of that is why we're introducing more products now. And I think it's a better use of both my time and Barry's time, and it seems to be producing the result we want. So I'm real happy with that.
Here's a question that's concerning us. It says here, employees' personal information should be strictly confidential. Leakage of employee information has been coming out. And I wanted to address that because that's not the way it should be. And if anybody hears that someone is talking about another employee, or that they're hearing this, if they would report it to us, they could leave us an anonymous note. But we would love to find out if this is happening, because we'll fix the leak if there is one. We don't know if someone heard someone talking about someone, if this was an actual fact, but it's such a serious nature that we do want to address it. And it is our policy of the company that what goes into your personnel files is strictly confidential, and we'll do everything we can to keep it that way. Okay.
Here's a question. Did we sell the company airplane? I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have a company airplane that we've used primarily by me and by our VP of stores to visit the stores in the past. With the change in what I've been doing with most of my time, I have not been spending as much time visiting stores, and I feel like my time is better spent working on products and letting Barry and Ralph and our district managers and our regional managers manage the stores. Not that they aren't important to me, but it just doesn't produce much of an improvement in our earnings for me to spend my time doing that compared to working with our design team to come out with these products that can influence the whole group, like the personal cooling system influenced the whole group of stores. So we did decide about 2 months ago to see if we could find a buyer for our company airplane. And in the moment it is an escrow, and it probably, unless it explodes for some reason, will close within a few weeks, and we'll be airplane-less.
There's a rumor, there's a question here, that the home catalog is going the way of spa. Is this true? No, that's not true. As a matter of fact, our business in our home book has been so overwhelming that we recently put the recent book on hold because we're catching up with so much business. This year we've done $7 million in furniture business compared to, I think, 4.5 last year, and we can't even invoice them and get them out quick enough. So we were going to have a catalog in the fall season, but we postponed it to January just to be able to fill the current orders. So we are on hold, but we have no plans to discontinue it.
Here's an exciting one. Where to go? Here it is. No. Oh, here it is. There's a rumor that we're moving. Is this true? You know, when we first moved into our offices about 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was sort of and I thought a far-looking idea because this area was not as popular then as it is now. Of course, it became a lot more popular when they knocked down the freeway that used to run right outside of the accounting department, because it used to be you'd look out those windows and the cars were like 6 feet from your desk. But after the earthquake, they took down the freeway, and then the Embarcadero got real popular. So now they want to try and raise the rent for our office space from about $22, $23 a square foot to about $40 a square foot. Our lease is up in 2 years, so we have to face this fact and decide what we want to do. We're considering several options. One is to try and squunch down into a tighter space, because our offices do have a lot of lunchrooms and corridors and a lot of areas around my area and around Ralph's area that are not used real well. So one option is to try and squunch it down into smaller space. Another option is to find a different space altogether, and we've looked at some alternatives. One of them would be like south of Market. One alternative, which I don't particularly favor, but because I don't live there, is in the East Bay. One alternative that I'm a little bit excited about that we haven't reached any deal, and it's just strictly in the fantasy stage at this moment, is I was taken through the Pixar space in Point Richmond the other day. Pixar is the company that Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, founded to make Toy Story and other animated movies. And I don't know if you've ever been to Point Richmond, but Point Richmond, which is sort of near, it's between Richmond and Marin, it's sort of right there when you cross the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, is a real quaint little town that sort of looks like Mendocino. And it has beautiful water views, sort of like Tiburon and Belvedere, and it has a very nice office park nearby. And it's a very clean, nice area, and Pixar has the coolest space I have ever seen. I was just so overwhelmed walking through there. I mean, you got to, first of all, understand these people are very creative people. And so they've designed a space that doesn't look like an office. It's sort of a cross between your clubhouse, your home, and your office. It is very personal. It's very special. I mean, there's bikes parked in the aisles and scooters, and everybody decorates the workstation the way they want, and they all wear, you know, Birkenstocks and shorts. And the architecture, the personality, and the warmth made it so neat. And Point Richmond is one of the really undiscovered gems of the Bay Area. So they're giving us a proposal, and it's something to consider. Is it accessible? That's obviously the disadvantage. You get to it from the East Bay by driving up 580. You get to it from Concord by coming down the New Richmond Parkway. You get to it from San Francisco by either taking BART or driving across the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not very handy, so if we ever did decide to do that option, and this is quite a ways off in time, we would have to come up with some really clever and significant incentives to interest y'all in wanting to do that. But at the moment, we haven't made any decisions about anything. We've signed absolutely nothing with anybody. We're still negotiating with our current landlords. So our lease is up in 2 years, and we're just thinking about these different alternatives. To the extent you want to talk about these or share it with your supervisor or your department manager, feel free, because I mean any input's appreciated.
Okay, we're cutting into drink time here. Last question is, when is the store managers meeting this year? And it's because it's coming up, and I think the agenda is finalized, and it's going to be September 16th through 19th. All the managers and some of you will be going over to the Claremont Hotel, which is the location it was last year. And this year, we're also going to have the entire group take a field trip to the corporate office and get to see our office and see some of the new product that we're working on. So all the field folks will be coming in less than a month. So that's on the agenda. So we should do our quarterly awards, and I think we're done. Okay? Sure. This is the Corporate Office Associate of the Quarter, and this is someone who I know all of you want to keep on. You want to keep on her good side. This Corporate Office Associate of the Quarter has worked for the Sharper Image for 4 years and happens to know every single one of us by name. That alone is quite an accomplishment. This person ensures that every associate of the company receives their most important benefit, their paycheck. And she does it like clockwork every 2 weeks. Her customers, all 1,300 of us, expect perfection. Although I wish she'd err on the plus side every once in a while. 100% accuracy and on-time delivery, a pretty high expectation level. Our Corporate Office Associate for the quarter, Kathy Wright. Let me just read here. Mary Tanner wrote, Kathy, our payroll manager, has an unparalleled ability to meet the deadlines and keep a myriad of complex compensation programs on track. Kathy excels under pressure and has a can-do attitude and has developed a great team in the payroll department. Congratulations, Kathy. You want to thank you?
Well, thank you very much. I want to thank all my department as well. They work very hard to make sure that we meet all those deadlines and make sure all those checks go to the right places and the right time. So it's a lot of effort from a lot of different people, and thank you very much. Thank you.
We have in our distribution center the Associate of the Quarter, so we'll do this by video. And the Distribution Center Associate of the Quarter is Dolores Jones from the Stores Department at the Distribution Center in Little Rock. So congratulations, Dolores. Her selection was based on high productivity, excellent attendance, and a great attitude. Dolores averages pulling 170 pieces of merchandise per hour against the department standard of 145. She overachieves at her work while maintaining a cheerful, smiling disposition and a good working relationship with others. Thank you, Dolores. Now, for the buying team of the quarter. This is a group who their sales and gross profit were the best of all four teams. And in the second quarter, this team achieved a 5.2% increase over plan. Their increase over last year was in the infinity category. It was in double, triple stars. And their gross profit was an 8.2% increase over plan. And again, their gross profit was in the stratosphere. So I'd like to congratulate and ask to come up to Dulce Marino and Tricia Alec.
And since I work with them somewhat, because they handle the SHRP image design along with some other products, I can personally testify you two are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Come up here and say something. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Say something.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to all the stores and all the customer service representatives, because without you guys, we would not make our sales. Thank you.
Tricia, there you go.
Thank you.
Melissa, congratulations.
Okay, in our stores, the comp store manager goes to the Milpitas store and Fatana Kier. Congratulations, Fatana. Now, this number, you've got to appreciate this number I'm going to tell you right now, because all of you remember that our comp store increase for the quarter was 7.1. You've been paying attention. Very good. In the Milpitas store, their comp store increase for the quarter was 75.7%.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. So congratulations to Fatana.
There you go.
We also have an award for the comp store district manager, and that goes to Brian Pack, our district manager in the South. So congratulations, Brian. Brian had a 17.7 comp store increase, which is compared to our 7.1.
Way to go, Brian. That's great.
It's a great contribution.
Fantastic.
And that's it.
We just want to mention.
Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
We have one, and I thought nothing better to end this meeting on in announcing what I think everyone knows, but to recognize probably one of the great performances of this year, and that is the promotion of Miss Tracy Wan to Executive Vice President.
Yay, Tracy! Come on. Tracy, no, come on up here. Now, as you all know, Tracy had a career as a stand-up comedian in Los Angeles before she decided to go into accounting and finance. But it became very successful for her, and she's been with us now for how long? 10 years. So say a word, Tracy.
Thank you. Well, in comedian school, they told me keep your day job because you just may not make it. So I've been practicing every chance I get. But on a more serious tone, I have to thank these two guys standing next to me for recognizing the input that I've had with the company. All of you that I've had the pleasure to work with over the last 10 years. And some of us do go back 10 years, and I appreciate and thank you for all of your support because I wouldn't be able to achieve what I'm doing today without your help. So thank you.
Let me just say one thing. And I want to, on a serious note, say, you know, obviously I worked with Tracy for 10 years. There's very few people that are as sort of a combination of fun, hard-nosed, really hard-working. I mean, Tracy's one of the hardest-working people we've ever met. She treats everybody with total graciousness, and yet she can be, you know, as we know, disciplined and hard-working. I think Tracy is just a terrific person, and the team of our Vice Chairman, Barry Gilbert, our Executive Vice President, Tracy, and all of us, I think right now we have really one of the greatest groups we've ever had in the 25 years since we started this company. I am really, really pleased with it. It's a great group. So thank all of you. Congratulations to Tracy. We're doing a good job. Let's keep it up.
Okay, that concludes our meeting. Drinks are on the house. Hi, welcome to the second quarterly meeting. Start over. What are we calling this?
Second quarterly meeting.
Okay, start over. Welcome. Welcome to the second quarterly meeting. Today we're going to review our results for the months of May. Yes. I need some notes here. Okay, ready when you are. Welcome to the second quarterly meeting. We have a very exciting program for you today, and I think some really exciting news for you. We're going to review the results for the second quarter, which is the months of May, June, and July, and I think we have some very exciting statistics for you. This is one of the best performances we as a company have had in a long time, and that's due to a great team effort from the stores, the corporate office, the merchants, people in marketing. Really everyone in our company pitched in to make this a really great quarter. So I think you'll be really pleased with what you have to hear today. We have some information about the second half of the year, which I think you'll be very positive, and we're very encouraged. I feel really good about what's ahead of us, and I think you'll be really pleased to hear it as well. So enjoy the tape, and we look forward to seeing our store managers and Chairman's Club winners here in San Francisco in mid-September. So good luck, and we'll see you soon. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Last thing, I just wanted to go through the list, some of the questions. I'm not sure these questions really were apropos to the stores. Christmas party, you know, I don't know, that wasn't really relevant to stores, I didn't think. Talking about a Christmas party.
Excellent.
And then calls, something about the phone calls. Where's Richard? Employee personal
Delete that.
company airplane, home catalog.
This is okay. This is okay. This, they'll get worried. I think that's good.
Where's RT?
Yeah. Moving, no. Store manager's meeting. If you have time, that's fine. Airplane, what was this one? Calls.
Yeah, it was.
That was funny though, wasn't it?
Was it? I wrote it down. But
that was the one where.
The Christmas calls.
Yeah. Christmas calls.
I don't know. It wasn't really relevant to them. It was kind of funny.
Why don't you see how it looks?
See how it looks. Okay.
I thought it was. It was funny, and if it may have some relation, they maybe will relate to the catalog. This is.
That was the Christmas party.
Oh, and we'll leave that out. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Okay.
And then I thought. Now, Richard went over the products that he did on the product talk, but I guess we should still leave it in there. I mean, he basically repeated the same thing they're going to get on the other tape.
Why do it?
Because we want to leave Richard out. It's basically where he's allowed. So that's a tough call.
Put it in. I'll see it twice.
Tony was good. Ralph was good. Tracy gets a little
long.
Yeah.
Cut it in half.
Okay. It may even be more than that.
Fine. I'm not really. We gave people highlights. I gave the people highlights.
That's what I figured.
That's what they needed to know.
Right.
Whatever you want to
We usually don't even put her in there.
All this does is it shares that information with our competition.
Right. Good point. Yeah. Okay.
Cut it well.
Davi, I can cut down. Just get her videotapes.
Sure.
And then the awards are fine. And then she'll get some tricks. Okay.
Super.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay.